Friends, Greg Newmaster coming at you again with another action figure review. Today I have Super 7 Thundercats Ultimates Jaga. And if you like the video, guys, please like and subscribe. Thundercats was by far my favorite show as a young child. My dad used to wake up really early in the morning around 6 a.m. before he'd go to work, and he'd record every episode for me. And when I'd wake up, I'd watch it just on endless repeat. And it was just, I liked it better than He-Man. I liked it better than the Super Friends, all the old cartoons at the time in the 80s. I liked it better than Transformers, G.I. Joe. It was just incredible. Favorite show of the 80s by and far. More than Silverhawks, whatever else you could think of. And it was just an amazing story. It was corny, definitely. And if you look back on it, it's very corny and hammy. But, I mean, that's part of its charm, too. I also liked when they remade the series in the early 2000s. And I was really sad that they didn't do a second season because I really liked how they were going with it. But anyhow, which brings us to Jaga the Wise. And part of the brilliance of Thundercats is they amalgamate many different fantasy tropes. There's a little bit of space and Star Wars in it. There's lots of fantasy. There's pirates, just magic, technology, all of it fused into one show. And one of the tropes that they stole, but which I like, is the wise elder wizard trope, more directly Obi-Wan Kenobi from the original Star Wars in ghost form. And that is what Jaga was. Jaga was Gandalf. Jaga was Obi-Wan Kenobi in ghost form. Jaga was just a badass character. And I was so excited when they made this figure. It took forever for them to ship this thing. It just feels like at least almost 2 years, I think it's been, since I pre-ordered this guy. And I was really bummed out that we didn't get Chitara in it as well. And I was really bummed out that we didn't get Series 2 first, but what are you going to do? COVID screwed up the whole world. So you can't blame Super 7 for that. I am mad at Super 7, though, because I changed my shipping address with them twice, and they still shipped it to the wrong place. Not only that, if you buy it from Big Bad Toy Stores instead of directly from them, Big Bad Toy Store, for whatever reason, is shipping theirs all out before everybody else's, and I just didn't understand that. But enough complaining, back to Jaga. So he's called Jaga the Wise. He was originally the Lord of the Thundercats. He's Lion-O's mentor. He was Lion-O's father, King Claudus's #1 advisor. Jaga is responsible for the formation of Lion-O as a king and as a leader. I remember those first 2 episodes, Exodus and Thundercats, where Thundera's blowing up, and this is actually something that Jaga caused indirectly because a villain named Ratilla, who was a mutant in the past, tried to destroy or tried to take Thundera, and he had the Sword of Plundar, which eventually becomes Mumra's, and was always with the action figure. He always had the double-bladed Sword of Plundar, and Jaga took that weapon and he cast it into a volcano, I think, and that ended up causing Thundera to explode. And then Mumra later gets the Sword of Thundera. So that was another interesting thing about Jaga. Also, the connection with Groon the Destroyer. And Groon was an awesome villain. He was an awesome character. He was originally a Thundercat. Just this hulking figure with the one Sabretooth, because he's supposed to be a saber-toothed tiger. And he betrays the Thundercats because of greed. He betrays Jaga, and Jaga defeats him and ultimately casts him away. And then for whatever reason, there's a temple dedicated to Groon on the planet that the Thundercats escape to, and that he gets released from that tomb. But I don't know why it's on Third Earth instead of Thundera. I guess because he got cast away. But anyhow, So there's that awesome connection to Groon. I also liked what they did in the new series. I think it was in 2011 when they tried to reboot Thundercats, and he was this cleric figure, sort of like the religious figure, you know, which is like Gandalf once again. But he also trained Chitara, and she was a cleric as well. And so he had this super speed, which was another fun element. But in the original show, he was always the ghost form. He was always the mentor to Lion-O. We definitely got to see him in flashbacks when he was young and he didn't have a beard. And he fought Ratilla or Rataro. I can't remember which one it is. I always want to call him Rataro, but I don't think that's correct. And he was the savior of the Thundercats. He gathered together the nobles who were Panthro, Chitara, and Tigra. He makes them Thundercats, and he trains Lion-O in spirit form, and he's Jaga the Wise, and he's always giving Lion-O and the Thundercats wisdom. And I'm so thankful, and I'm so happy to finally have this figure to add another Thundercat to the team. There's never been a Jaga figure besides the original LJN one, and then there's like the little tiny... they look like Legos, but I forget what they're called. There was a Jaga like that, and Super 7 has done those like old school looking action figures. They're like, I don't know, 3 inches, and they have no articulation, but I'm not interested in that. This is the first time we get a fully articulated, awesome Jaga that matches the Masters of the Universe line, the Matty Collectors, the Club Third Earth. So let's pop this open. I've said enough. Let's get a look at it. I've been dying to see this. So it comes, all the figures come in this nice extra slip cover, and has the Thundercats logo. That's what it looks like, just so you can tell if you're purchasing this on eBay or something like that. So it comes in this, and they actually put mine in a plastic covering this time. So that was nice, because the figures before didn't come like that. So he's in the awesome box. There's the beautiful cat symbol, the Thundercats logo, the classic 80s Thundercats logo. It says Jaga. Here it is from the back. There is the bottom. There's a Super 7 on there. There's also WB. I guess they own the rights to Thundercats. And Ultimates on the top. And we're going to pull this slip cover off. And there he is. And I'm very excited about him. And there's a nice new image on the back of him. It says Jaga. Long ago, Jaga served Claudius, original lord of the Thundercats. Charged with guarding the treasures of Thundera, he became a mentor to Claudius' son, Lion-O. During Thundera's destruction, Jaga led the exodus of refugees. He later sacrificed himself to pilot their flagship safely to the distant world of Third Earth. Yet his spirit continues to guide a now adult Lion-O, reaching out from the spirit realm in times of great need. And it was never explained how Jaga was able to do this, because it's funny, because in Star Wars it's like the Force, and we figure out, well, okay, it's the Force that's doing this. Now, is the reason why Jaga can appear in ghost form, is that because of the Eye of Thundera? Some sort of Thunderian magic? We don't really know. Is it the Book of Omens? Because, you know, why doesn't Claudius appear and instruct Lion-O instead? Oh, and I forgot to mention that Jaga becomes the Lord of the Thundercats, and he wields the Sword of Omens because Claudius is blinded by the mutants who attack Thundera constantly, and the mutants continue to be a bane to the Thundercats as the series goes on, but they're just pathetic. And they can never successfully take down the Thundercats no matter how hard they try. So anyhow, and there's actually a sticker on the top. I cut that already, and let's pull this baby out. I'm waiting so long for this guy. Honestly, I don't care about Slive. I don't care about Captain Cracker. I don't even really remember that figure or that character in the show. But here he is, Jaga the Wise, the man. I'm so excited that they gave him this cloth cape. So it comes... the bubble comes with 2 pieces. It's actually taped, which I didn't realize that it would be taped on the back. So I'm just going to cut that because that doesn't really need to be taped because it fits in there nicely. So I'm going to cut that and just pull that out. So I'll show you guys this first before I bust out the figure. So the nice thing about this Ultimates version is you get 2 versions of the cape. They give you a plastic vinyl version. This is a nice rubber, and look at the Thundercats logo. Looks great. Painted very nicely. Very pleased about that. The cape looks fine. There's some of the folds on the top there, and nothing to look at, but I don't know. We'll see how the cloth cape looks on him. Maybe I might put this one on him instead if it fits better, but I normally go for the cloth cape. Also, you get extra sets of hands. Oh my goodness. I'm going to lose my mind. I can't believe they did this. So, for whatever reason, they see this hand here and see where the hinge is. It's on the side of the wrist. That's a beautiful sword holding hand where you can point the sword up and down, and they didn't give us that for Lion-O, but they gave it to us for Jaga, and that just drives me insane. I may actually just put this hand on Lion-O so he can hold the Sword of Omens up and do the Thundercats Ho, because the other hinge goes like this on the figures that come with Lion-O, and I'm like, oh, I can't believe they did that. I cannot believe that they gave the hinge. Actually, so there's 2 hands that are like that. So I'll make Jaga left-handed so he can hold the Sword of Omens that way. But man, I can't believe they did that. They did it for Jaga, but they didn't do it for Lion-O. And then you get another set of hands. So it looks like 3 sets of hands total. Not that you need them. So here's the more traditional hinge, where it's on the top of the wrist instead of the side, just so you guys can see what I'm talking about in case I didn't explain it accurately. But look at that hinge. It goes like that, so you can tilt the wrist up and down, and I'll put it on Jaga where you have this other hinge where it's on the top of the wrist, so it goes back and forth like a floppy wrist instead of like a weapon holding hinge, which is perfect. So I'm happy that they included that with Jaga. I am very disappointed that they did not include that with Lion-O. I know that they're going to re-release Lion-O. Maybe they'll fix that mistake, but I won't hold my breath. Alright, so let's get into the man himself. He's actually held in there by Twisty Tie, which he is. I don't think they've been securing them with ties in the past, but for Super 7 this time they actually did that. So, which kind of concerns me because that can mess up the plastic here. And let's get this guy out so we can all take a good look at him. I mean, it's just been so long waiting for this figure, waiting for any new Thundercat figures. First, they dropped Slithe for whatever reason. He came in first, and then Captain Cracker came, and finally we get Jaga. So, yeah, he looks amazing. He looks fantastic. Look at that head sculpt. This is more of a youthful looking Jaga, I believe. So let's check out this cape. So the cape, okay. So this is kind of unusual. And I think it's just the nature of these figures, but so Jaga's in like a leotard sort of thing. And what they could have done, what would have been better is if they just would have sculpted the leotard on or just painted it. Instead, they have this floppy piece that comes over, and then the cape attaches oddly to the leotard, like this little piece of the leotard. It's just very unusual. So there's nothing really, only this top little port is holding the cape on. What they should have done is just drilled a hole in his chest. I may do that and just secure the symbol there. So it's just a very weird design. I've never seen anybody do anything like that before. And I know it's because these are based on Masters of the Universe figures, so they always have the swappable underwear, and they just use the same body mold pretty much. So I don't know, that's a complaint, because like if you look at the articulation, it kind of twists the, I don't know, the leotard's kind of weird. Not too bad though, but it's just kind of unusual, where they could have just either sculpted that or painted it and just gave him his like underwear. But here's the other set of hands, by the way, and I'm gonna swap those out actually, because I want him. They're just clawed hands. So each Thundercats figure has a set of open clawed hands, which I think is a little bit overkill. We really don't need all those. But I'm going to do exactly what I said. So I'm going to put the right-handed hinge sword-holding hand on the right hand. And then I'll put the Thundercats hoe sort of like hinge on his left hand. And I'll show you what I was talking about. So that is his left hand. And this is so exciting. I'm so excited to have this figure finally. Even though I had to hunt it down because it was, see what I mean? So he can hold that sword up high and do the Thundercats hoe. And that's exactly what I'm going to switch out that hand with Lion-O, so Lion-O can actually do that finally. But he can do that in his left hand. The cape looks great. There's a wire all the way in the top here. They could have done a better job. They sewed the piece right there and it just looks kind of crappy. They could have sewed it under the logo and it just would have looked a little nicer, but whatever. I'm just happy it's like cloth. And you got the wire in the bottom. There it is from the back, and you can just do some dynamic posing with the cape, which is wonderful. Just a terrific looking figure. I'm going to take this off real quick and throw on the plastic cape just so we can see what that's like. Actually, I'm going to try and pop his head off without breaking the... Oh, so this little piece right here is like a soft rubber, so that's nice. But pull the head off, very afraid so I don't break it, and put on the vinyl cape, plastic cape, whatever its substance is. I don't exactly know what it's made out of, but that looks really good too. It definitely looks sleeker than the yeah, see how it looks a lot nicer than the cloth cape. The cloth cape is like just looks a little... I like that it's cloth. I'm always going to take cloth, and it's double layered and all that kind of stuff, but it just looks kind of clunky there, if you can see the two. But that looks really nice. So nice color blue too. So we'll see. Let's keep going though. Take him off and pop that head off. Put the cloth cape back on, just because I think I do like it better. I always prefer the cloth. But see, it's just such a silly design. I don't know why they didn't like port it into the chest. Either port it into the chest or sculpt it on. I might just, like I said, I'm gonna drill a hole. So let's compare. Get a look at the body. I'll do the articulation real quick. So if you have a Masters of the Universe, you know what this is all about. So shoulders, full rotation. They have a cut in the top, so you can kind of bring the arms together even though there's no butterfly joint. See that cut right there? So you have that. What else? Pop his head on. So we got the double ball joint. The neck can move up about that far, down that far. Not crazy neck rotation, but good enough. You know, that's just Masters of the Universe style. No double joints in the elbows, and we don't even get 90 degrees, so that annoys me. That's why I love the new Masters of the Universe Revelation figures, because they have double jointed elbows. The articulation's awesome. I'm really about articulation. Crunch goes down that far, but like I said, we got that weird leotard piece. He can go back that far. I'll throw the cape on just so you can see what the crunch is like. And I can see, it's even difficult to like get this port in there, to port in properly. Okay, so there it is on, and that's what it looks like when it's crunched. So it kind of bunches up, but honestly, it's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. So I'm okay. The twist looks a little weird, so if you twist them and then it just popped off, so I might have to put some sort of sticky tack on or something like that. But yeah, love the wire cape. We get a full straddle. Leg can kick up about that high, which is pretty good. A little hindered by the rubber soft plastic underwear, whatever it is. The knees bend about that far. Oh, they actually gave a articulation in the knee, so we have knee rotation. So that's just like a little bit better if you... That actually is nice. So instead of getting the double jointed knees. Oh, and there's no pins in this, which is different. I forgot to even mention that. So that's it's a much more sleeker figure because it has no pins, which is really nice for the sculpt aspect. That's what he looks like from behind. See, the leotard doesn't even connect all the way down to the back, which is, it's just very unusual. It's a very unusual design. They were doing strange things in the 80s. But let's see, ankles, we get up and down, and we have the pivot, which is very nice. Gotta appreciate the pivot. Friends reference. There's also a bicep cut. Didn't mention that. And then I've already showed you guys the wrists and the different hands. So we're going to put him here. Let's get a look at the head sculpts. So I do like that they gave us a unhelmeted head. And that just looks really nice. He looks, his nice bald head, really cool. Sort of has a Wolverine haircut if he was Hulk Hogan. So it's like a skullet, Wolverine, mutton chop sort of haircut, minus the hair on the top of head. So that's a really nice looking head. You can see that there. Beard looks great. Let's see if we can get some light on the eyes. Nice. They didn't give us a glowing eye head, which is which would have been nice, even though I can't remember if Jaga's eyes glowed when, you know, Lion-O would, you know, do the Thundercats Ho. I guess they wouldn't because he was in ghost form. But I don't know. That would have been cool. So we get another head, which almost looks identical to this head, except this one's supposed to be older. And you know what? I think... Oh, and the beard is a little bit different. The beard is longer. The mustache like kind of covers the mouth, so you don't even see the mouth and the chin at all. So this is a much older looking Jaga. And you know what? I like this one better. So I'm going to display my Jaga with the older looking Jaga. Because I like, you know, Jaga's like the wise grandfather figure, character, archetype. That's what he reminds me of. So, yeah, like he looks really great. I can't wait until Garoon comes. I was really looking forward to that. So, here's the head that comes on it, just so you guys get a good look at that. And here is the one without his helmet. Looks really nice. Okay. And let's get a look at the wonderful accessories And we get a brand new Sword of Omens. We get the extended version, and we get the smaller version as well, the dagger version. And I must say, I'm very pleased they improved this. The one that came with Lion-O was just a blob, so the symbol looked bad. But this looks great. So here's the one that came with Lion-O. And here's the one with Jaga. It's even a different color. This looks more turquoise and blue, Jaga's version. And Lion-O's looks a little bit more green. And that's what it's like on the back. And even the metal looks a little bit more silver, where Lion-O's version looks white. So I hope with the new Lion-O figure also they improve the sword, because that was kind of disappointing, because I know they're re-releasing Lion-O and Panthro, so hopefully they'll correct the mistakes. But let's get a look at how he holds the Sword of Omens. This hand is real tight, and the claws are sharp, so I'm going to try and get the sword in there without breaking the hand, because that is a really hard plastic. Just got to bend those fingers out just a little bit, because I don't think I can get the sword in that hand. All right, let's see if I can get it on the other hand, because I don't want to force it in there and scratch the paint. Oof, there we go. All right, so I was able to get it in the hand that I actually didn't want it in. But looks great. And see, there's that cape popping off. That's going to be a pain in the butt. So that is an issue. That's something I don't like about this figure, is how they did the cape. Because it's just going to keep popping off. So I'm either going to have to glue it, or I don't know. Not sure. So there's the longer Sword of Omens, and that looks good. And here is, he also comes with the dagger version, the short sword. And that looks pretty much the same as the one that came with Lion-O. Let's compare the two. This is the one that came with Lion-O, which mine actually had a mistake on it, as you can see. And this is the one that came with Jaga. So they actually even painted it better. Like if you look, this is a different color, red and yellow, where this is not as good. Oh, but they didn't paint the green in the hilt on the Jaga version, so that's interesting. Not that you need the short sword with Jaga anyhow. He doesn't even have the claw shield to hold it in. So check that out. And last but not least, the final very bizarre accessory that came with Jaga was, it looks like a Jolly Rancher. You actually get another hand with this, but this is supposed to be the cloth that he makes the Thundercats costumes out of, their uniforms. He sort of throws it on them when he dubs them Thundercats, and it just, this is supposed to be cloth, but it just looks like a melted Jolly Rancher. It looks very silly. So you get that accessory. I would have rather had a younger head, or I don't know. Also, people have been asking for the ghost form Jaga, which is fine. I'm fine with this version. I don't need the ghost form, but I'm so happy and excited to have this figure. Honestly, I know I sound like I've been complaining more than I've been happy, but I've been waiting for a new. This is we've only had Lion-O and Panthro, honestly. And then Bandai gave us Lion-O and Tigra of the old team, But we never got anybody else. We never got the full team. So we're so close to getting the full team. Let me see if I can get that hand out, because I can't get it in this hand. It's just like too tight, and I don't want to break it on camera. But yeah, so I want this hand to, I'm actually gonna put this on Lion-O, and this will be like his new sword holding hand. But yeah, it's like it's so tight I need like a screwdriver to bend it out or something, because I can't get the sword in the hand because it's too tight. Alright, but anyhow, okay. The point is that it has this hinge on it, and that's the way it should be. So you can point and hold the sword up. So I'm not going to waste your time anymore, but it's a great figure. You can get it on Big Bad Toy Store. You can definitely get it on eBay. I highly recommend it if you're a Thundercats fan. Jaga the Wise. Can't wait for Groon. Can't wait for Tigra. Can't wait for Snarf. Man, I hope they release a Snarf. I can't wait for Bengali. We already got a Pumara, but they're coming out with one that's shorter. So that'll be nice. A lot of the Thunder Tank. Oh, can't wait for that guy. So I hope you guys liked the video. This is a great figure. I highly recommend it. Jaga the Wise. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. And God bless you all. Peace.